Right, so one last patch that I forgot to do at the time of doing the A-post repairs, and to be quite frank, couldn't face doing after the A-post repairs, but it needs done. So the top piece of the A-post that fills up in needed replaced. So I've started recording this a bit late as per usual, but I have cut out a bit, wherever it's at, cut out a template, transferred that onto a piece of steel, made the bend in it to return back onto the door seal lip, and I'm about to hit it a wee tack at the bottom because it's right where it is there, and then try and massage it nicely up into shape. Probably will need a couple of bits trimmed off it or whatever, but I'll make those as I go. It doesn't have to be conquer, as long as it's solid and one piece, rust free, I'm happy. So yeah, there we go. That bit set in, need to finish off the top of it and trim it down, but do it to me bit. Time to get this lot bare metals. I think it's the only way I'm going to find out exactly what's in there. See, there's another wee suspect looking patch here. Something here has been going on. Patches here. I don't know what's been going on in this car, so never mind this flipping thing here. Somebody must have cut a chunk out of it at some point, so good to see what's in behind it, what the welding's like. My good friend Matthew is helping in this side with the paint gun. Trying to strip, or the heat gun, sorry, trying to strip the under seal off. Hateful job, but somebody has to do it, that's why I've got him as a friend.
Thank you.
So, I'll start on this side with the wire wheel, he's starting that side with the paint gun or the heat gun, so hopefully it'll not take too long. Okay, so I got fed up wire wheeling. Went out and bought some industrial paint stripper. Just applied it. So we'll wait and see if it all starts to bubble, which, look here, it actually is starting to work already, and it's only on a couple of minutes. So the directions are wait an hour, apply a second coat, and then start in with wire wheel or a wire brush or a scraper or anything. It should just fall off hopefully. So I'll update you with the results. So, update. So you saw in the wee time lapse there, it bubbling. But it seems to have worked quite well. For anybody interested, it is the Screwfix No More Nonsense paint stripper, which is remarkably cheaper than Nitromore's, which apparently has gone to the dogs. Apparently it's not made the same way as it used to be. So now the fun begins. I have a bit of scraper. I do have a scraper. Now the fun begins trying to get all this paint scraped off, cleaned up, and all the stuff underneath wire wheeled off. So yeah, I'll update once that's done. Should make things a bit easier to see what's hiding in behind the paint, because you just never know with these old projects what's going on until you see for yourself. But this has definitely made it a lot easier than without paint stripper. So yeah, here we go. Alright, here's another coat. But as you can see, it's done a mighty fine job so far. Very happy with that. Not too many surprises. Thankfully. There's a wee bit up there. I think the bubble's been replaced at some point, or else just been smoothed and filled, but there's a wee bit of filler around the lip. Need to investigate that. We already knew about this down in here. Thankfully it's not as bad as I thought it was going to be. It all needs another coat, I think. Then I'll take it with a wire wheel, get it shiny-ish, and then it's ready for any repairs, and then it's ready for Mr. Paintman. So, done the front valance too. So there's a couple of repairs needing done up here. This side here's already had it done, so I'm not bothered with that, just tidy it up. Headlight buckets and stuff, actually surprisingly good somehow. And so are the kick panels and A-post on this side. There's one wee rust spot here, but thankfully that's all it amounts to. It's funny how one side is completely rotten on the A-post and inner sill and sill end, but the other side's near enough perfect. Okay, after many hours and many days and many wire wheels, the engine bay and inner wings are now bare. Never, ever, ever again will I be doing that. Look at the amount of stuff. This is all crap that come off the inner wings. Wire wheels lying everywhere. So before I do anything else, I'm gonna have to do a bit of a tidy up, because you can't live like this. You can spot the areas where I've done the most work recently, because with the Weld back here there's a pile, over here there's a pile, and the front is just everywhere. So I will recommence after a bit of a tidy up and do a bit of a walk around really of the mess, some of the mess, like this for instance, and this. So yep, back in a minute. Okay, so after a bit of a manic tidy up, now the dust settled, time to go over this mess. I don't exactly know what was going on here. Well, it needs sorted. There must have been like a battery tray or something in it. I don't know what was going on, but yeah. Down here, again, same on both sides. It's almost as if he was trying to strengthen it, because there's patches and places that there's no rust, there's just patches over it. He's done the same here too. So it's almost as if the last fella has been around here trying to seam weld everything. Because there's some splatter marks the whole way along, like he was attempting to seam weld it. Same over here. So I need to tidy all that up. I'm not happy with it. Same up in here. It's the same as the far side really. I have the intercooler set in because of another problem that I have. The bumper brackets usually go through this hole, and this hole, well, I currently have an intercooler tight in there. So I think to remedy that, I'm going to have to go to this side and cut a new slot, and then on the bracket, which is here. Nope, it's not here. Okay, find the bracket. As I said, bracket normally goes up in there. Can't currently because of the wee gap that I have between the intercooler and that. So I think what I'm going to have to do is put it through the far side onto this side of the inner wing, and basically, so that's it there. Just extend this bit here across to meet where it usually should have been. So, all fun and games, but not the end of the world. It's only a bit of welding and cutting. I'm used to that by now. Rust wise, actually pretty happy. The only rust hole I really found was this in the outer skin. So I'll get that chopped out, make a template, set it in, and thankfully it hasn't eaten too far into this either. See this lovely here, this bit. Yeah. I still maintain he was trying to strengthen it where the anti-roll bar brackets go through. I don't think there was rust in behind it. I think it's just plates on top of original Ford. So I'll do a bit of buffing and cleaning back here to see what's going on. There's been some sort of a bracket. It must have been a bottle or something mounted in here, because there's a hole. So there must have been some sort of a coolant bottle or something in here at some point. But as much as it's a dirty, dirty job, I never want to do it again. I'm very glad I have done it now, because at least I know everything that's wrong with it, and I can put it right before I get it car painted. This here has been cut out at some point as well. It was a bias box arrangement in there with pots on the bulkhead, so that's been put back in. Not too worried about it, looks strong. Just buff it back, tidy it up a wee bit, and I think that might do me for today. I've done quite a lot in this episode, even though it might not seem that to use, but I'm fairly happy with how everything's turned out. So the next episode will be mainly getting this lot addressed. All the wee bits I've just pointed out to you, not go over them all again. It'll be hopefully cutting, grinding, welding, and then hopefully the next episode after that should be getting the Xpack kit all trial fitted again at the front to make sure I haven't messed anything up with re-welding wing rails or scuttle ends and all that carry on. And then get the car stripped and away to the paint booth. Well, that's the current plan. Might end up going a different way, but that's what I would like to do. Don't know whether or not I'm wise putting the engine stuff back in again just to double check everything, but if I do that, it's only an evening. It's not, doesn't take a whole pile of time whenever you've got a lift. So, yeah, if you like what you're seeing, as per usual, hit the like button, subscribe button. If you hit the subscribe button, hit the wee bell beside it so that you're notified of any new videos. If there's anything you want to see, let me know. If there's anything that's boring and you don't want to see any of, also let me know. So, see you in the next one. Bye.